Hello and welcome to our channel Leaders in Making. And I'm so thrilled because today, for the very first time, we are touching the topic of aerospace engineering. I witnessed Sumana's profile on LinkedIn and I went through all her past experiences, exposure, her achievements. And I was very excited to get in touch with her so that my youth, people who are leaders in making, subscribers, followers, who look up to us for career guidance and making their career should listen to her. And she gracefully accepted our invitation. We thank you from core of our heart, Sumana, for accepting the offer and sharing your experience and knowledge with youth related to aerospace engineering.
Of course, Dr. Sunita, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be connected to you and to your followers as well. And I'm so happy that you have picked up the topic of aerospace that is so relevant, becoming so relevant now.
Yes, and I
Thank
do
you.
see that, there are very few podcasts which are being done on this particular career. So I witnessed from your profile for our viewers, Sumana Mukherjee is a professional in aerospace engineering. She's from Kolkata. She's a graduate from one of the top university in India, UPES, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. Graduate from this particular college, they are brilliant, excellent, needless to say. She did her master's in space engineering again from Netherlands. She went for her research paper out of country. We want you to explain your journey from your schooling days, what navigated, what motivated you to come to this career at this moment. Sumana, over to you, please.
Thank you. Yes, so I decided to be in this profession at a very, very early age. And I think many other, especially girls of my age, were inspired by the same incident, which was very tragic when one of the Space Shuttle Columbia disasters happened and we lost our um, Indian origin astronaut, Dr. Kalpana Chawla, in that incident. And I was very, very young at that time, I think 9 years old. And I couldn't understand all of it, of course, most of it. But I remember watching the news and telling my mother, I was so affected by it. I was so sad that I said, when I grow up, I just want to build safe spacecrafts. That's all I understood at that point. And luckily, both my parents never, they only encouraged me to go ahead, although it was not a career aspiration at that time for anyone. And throughout my school, all my teachers also encouraged me a lot. And all I did, I remember, was every project used to be a space project. And I used to spend my weekends looking at NASA pictures. But yes, then when the time came to actually select a college, I remember I wanted to study aerospace because I wanted to build things and not go into the science aspect of astrophysics or astronomy. That was also an option. But I decided, no, I'll go into engineering because that will help me, build spacecrafts really. So I went to UPES, and at that time it was not very old, but its aerospace engineering program was gaining reputation. And the reason for choosing that college was one that it had an excellent curriculum
True.
that was fully dedicated to all the necessary skills of aerospace. And also, some of our courses were in collaboration with IIT Kanpur's aerospace program. So
Mhm.
we got to go to their labs. We had their flight labs in IIT Kanpur, and also the professors from IIT Kanpur would come and teach us their curriculum as well. So that way, it was a very well-rounded, well-organized bachelor structure. And yes, I was in my second year, and we had one professor, Dr. Guven, who had come from the US. He's an expert on space. And I just remember going and telling him, I like aerospace in general, but space is what I want to focus on. And he pushed me to do some projects in satellites. And that's along with a friend of mine, I published a paper in one of the biggest conferences in space, which is the International Astronautical Congress.
Okay.
And there I got in contact with many other experts from space from all over the world. And
Mhm.
that's when I understood that, okay, I want to take this up as a higher study option as well. So I
Mhm.
went to Netherlands at Delft University. I started my master's. I finished my coursework there. and I did my master projects in Germany, actually, University of Bremen.
Okay.
But it was during COVID time, and I couldn't. My master's is actually not complete. All my coursework and projects are complete, but thesis still remains incomplete
Okay.
because I decided to join a job during the COVID time. I thought
Mm,
I really needed to start a job back then.
sure.
And over the years, I have participated in mostly European missions. I've
Mm-hmm.
participated in the satellite missions, and I've done a project on radiation shields for a habitat on the moon. And the job that I took during COVID was in Estonia, where we were building rovers for the moon, and I used to work on the navigation aspect. And now I've been in India for the past almost 2 years now, and I've worked with several Indian startups, and mostly I also help in guiding students pursue careers in the space field. So that's my
Wonderful.
story. Thank you.
Wonderful. What I can analyze from what you have said is that since beginning you were aware about the space and you were aware about the concept and you were very lucky enough to get beautiful mentors who motivated you, encouraged you to build a career out of all the space photographs, pictures, or the theories you were going through. Now, there are a lot of students in India who do go through NASA videos in schools also from class 6th onwards. So I would really would like to request you to shed some light that what should be the skills, what should be the highlighted points wherein one can identify that yes, a child or a candidate or a student is interested in aerospace engineering, because you were already an aware student and you had that inbuilt interest of you have chosen that in your mind that yes, after this episode I will do something in this area. But what about students who are new to this, or what you feel at what age they should decide that they should finalize aerospace engineering?
That's a great question because being a new field in general, aerospace is still a very new field, which means
Ji.
when a student goes up to a career level and they want to start working in this field, some part of it would always be in the field of research,
Hmm.
which means from a very early age, let's say sixth or seventh, many schools have started a lot of soft skill programs
True.
along with their curriculum that how to develop the critical thinking, problem solving skills. And
Mm-hmm.
if we talk about subjects, it is if you want to go to aerospace engineering particularly, then understanding of mathematics and physics is very, very crucial. So
Oh,
at a very
okay.
early stage, if students and the teachers realize that this student can grasp the concepts of mathematics or is very good at solving unseen problems, that's a very good start that these are the skills that would help them pursue a career in aerospace.
Oh,
Besides that, another thing is whole of aerospace is very multidisciplinary. So if
okay.
we work on space mission, let's say, you need to be aware of other fields as well. Let's say you cannot be just confined to studying about an airplane. You need to have a broader understanding of
Hmm.
entire engineering fields as well. So
Okay.
that open-mindedness, if they can develop at a very early age and not staying confined to certain subjects, that is also an essential skill that would help them throughout their aerospace careers, I feel.
Wonderful. And that's a great insight. Even I was not aware that mathematics and physics, being strong in these two subjects can explore the whole world of aerospace engineering. You also mentioned that the other areas of engineering are also going to come in support. So if you see in India, the engineering, like computer engineering, IT, these kind of engineering are very, very popular in comparison to any other engineering course. So how you feel that these engineering, other disciplines are going to support or help in aerospace engineering?
Right. This is one conversation I have with many students right now because people have an understanding that in order to start a career in aerospace, you only need to get an aerospace degree in particular.
Uh-huh.
While
Uh,
that helps, aerospace engineering is a crucial degree,
yeah.
but there are many aspects of building an aircraft or a spacecraft that especially requires computer engineers.
Okay.
Because if we see, let's say, a rocket or a
Mhm.
satellite or a fighter jet, they all have onboard computers.
Mm-hmm.
And all these things, aerospace engineering is more like an umbrella degree. It gives you an idea about all the aspects of an aerospace system. However, students in aerospace also need to specialize in one aspect at least, because there are very few jobs that list the saying that we want aerospace engineers. They will say we want a structural engineer or we want
Okay.
a software engineer.
Okay.
So since majority of the students in India study core engineering principles, and that's a
True.
great thing,
True.
they are very much eligible to enter the aerospace sector,
Okay. So if
be
you
it
talk about
aeronautics, be it
uh,
space.
okay, if you talk about aircraft, then you need to have mechanical engineering also, because
Yes,
there is an involvement in the making of the aircraft. Then you need electronic engineer also. This is what I'm understanding from a layman per se, and for all the students, because we do have
absolutely.
engineering people on our channel. So what we are understanding is that aerospace engineering is definitely the core area, but all other specializations are also contributing to that. Okay.
Absolutely. Students from aerospace engineering also, they
Mm-hmm.
need to, when they do their final year projects or internships, they
Mm.
will specialize in either the avionics part of it, the electronics part of it, or they will become good at structures,
Okay.
which is the most crucial part because you
Mm.
need to build the systems. And they can specialize in many other fields like flight mechanics, controls, and of course, software. Without that, it's impossible to send any aerospace system out in the above ground. So computer engineers are very much in demand.
Okay. So you did your graduation way back 10 years back, 2013. So what all colleges are now available for aerospace engineering, which you feel they are equally good like UPES? Because UPES is a big name in India, otherwise also. What all
Yeah,
colleges you
yeah.
feel, maybe top five colleges for our students or followers?
I would say definitely if you want to study aerospace as bachelor's, then IIT it should be your top destination, which
Okay.
because over the years, especially some IITs, like say Kanpur, Bombay, Madras,
Mm-hmm.
Kharagpur, these IITs, they have evolved so much in the aerospace domain that even some of the incubators that are there
Okay.
within these colleges, they have launched many aerospace companies.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I think IISC, Indian Institute of Science, has a very good
Bangalore?
aerospace program,
Bangalore,
but
you're
I
saying?
think it's more into Bangalore.
Okay.
Bangalore. They are more into the MTech side. And the other two colleges I would like to mention, one is Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology. It's
Oh,
not
that's
just
big
about
one.
space
Oh.
technology there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they started bachelor's when I was finishing school in 2011, and their courses are so well designed that if you want to get a comprehensive engineering degree in aerospace, it's a great place to go. And also, you get a lot of ISRO opportunities if you go to IIST.
Okay.
And the other institute that has launched, that has trained many students in the master's field in space in general is IIT Indore.
Okay.
And why I'm mentioning this is also because they have started the very first space engineering bachelor's program in India this year.
Mm-hmm.
And because they have some wonderful professors, they have very well designed curriculum. But beyond these well-known institutes, if you really want to go to a private college, it's perfectly fine, I think. But there are some things to keep in mind that the curriculum needs to be dedicated to aerospace and not divert to other streams.
Sure.
And their lab facilities should be really good. Like there are upcoming some great colleges, like there's one in Bangalore called Global Academy of Technology. They've done some great work. The professors are bringing in so many experts. There's also in Dehradun Graphic Era Institute of Technology, and they are deemed to be
Dehradun.
university.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are starting BTech in aerospace this year. They have just started their first class. And why I'm mentioning these universities is because they are coming very well prepared in this domain.
Okay.
And so there's no reason to feel that if you don't go to a government institute, you can't get a good education, because at the end of the day, it really matters on what internship you have done, what
Mm-hmm.
final project you have done, because that is what is going to give you a job. There's no reason to worry. If there's a good curriculum, then it's okay to go ahead with any college.
Wonderful. So it was like a normal BTech 4-year program only, or 3-year program?
It was a BTech 4-year program. It was an accredited program,
Okay.
and it was like a normal bachelor's.
Normal bachelor's and 8 semesters. Okay.
Eight
Okay.
semesters. Eight.
Sure, sure. And what was the tentative fees, or, if you have the idea in today's time, what is the tentative fees of doing this engineering? Or is it similar to other engineering program?
There is no, as to the best of my knowledge, there is no extra cost that requires you to get an aerospace degree. It's the same as the other engineering schools. So of
Okay.
course, it's much lower if you go to the government
Sure.
institutes, but the private colleges charge the same fees for aerospace as well as the other engineering streams.
Okay. So you mean to say, like other engineering program, the lab is also very important. The curriculum is also very important, and it should be specific related to aerospace engineering only and the in-depth process. I also saw that the USP of your profile was your coursework, your technical skills, and your critical skills. So I'm telling all of you that if you are, apart from mathematics and physics, if you are really brilliant in critical thinking, this is one career wherein you can really explore best of opportunities. And Sumana, you were talking about good number of careers. Would you like to share that what all different kind of careers one can look up to if a person is an aerospace engineer?
Sure. The first thing that comes to mind is, of course, the government and PSU level jobs that we have in India. Let's say DRDO, ISRO, or Hindustan Aeronautics, HAL. And if you want to go to private companies, also we have some Indian companies like Mahindra Aerospace is there. There are plenty of new drone companies that are coming up. They also require the expertise of aerospace engineers. And if I talk about space, I could go on because I think last I checked, we have over 140 registered space startups in India.
Okay.
So what these companies really look for is the one you mentioned, that you have to be able to do things on your own. And that does not mean knowing everything.
True.
It means the skill to be able to figure things out on your own.
So
So there are plenty of jobs in the aerospace sector right now in India, which hire people from, let's say, you could be a control engineer, you could be a mechanical design engineer, you could be a full stack developer.
Okay.
And these are just the core engineering degrees that I'm talking about. And I think right now, aerospace entrepreneurship is coming up as a bigger career option for students who are graduates. Like students and graduates are showing so much interest in building their own companies, and because we have so much support from the government now.
True.
So
Tremendous support, especially during this government of Mr. Modi. He is supporting all foreign projects just to raise India to its next level. True.
And there's another thing also I shouldn't forget to mention is that you could join the Air Force because the kind of knowledge that you gain from an aerospace engineering degree, it helps a lot. And I would also say one of my closest friends is a pilot also. So if you want to go get a commercial pilot license, the degree helps a lot. Although you can do that after school as well, but getting that engineering knowledge while you fly an aircraft is also a huge, huge benefit. So careers as a pilot also is a great career option, I think.
Wonderful. So when you say all these careers, a student who is just an aerospace engineering can directly move into all these careers in the organizations?
Yes. Yes, that's why I keep saying, because they are going to look at, because when they interview you, they're going to ask, what is your specialty? Are you good at mechanics? Are you good at computers? Are you good at electronics? Which part of it are you good at? So aerospace engineers have this added responsibility to develop one specialty at least during their bachelor years. So that's how the curriculums are designed in colleges, and that's how their internships and final year projects are designed. So the students get to know what they want to specialize in.
So that's a great input. That means if a person is going for aerospace engineering job, he has to be multi-talented, not just in one specialization, but at least two specialization to grab a job. Now, there are many courses which students are doing along with their graduation or post-graduation also. Do you feel that any other additional course apart from doing a graduation program in aerospace engineering is going to help these graduates?
Absolutely. I think right now is the age of upskilling. Every
Hmm.
professional has to continuously learn something. And because of we have so many wonderful resources on the internet, I think it's not just, I would say it has become kind of mandatory to keep yourself up to date. Like, say, if you are doing something, if you want to, let's say, build a computer for a rocket, you
Okay.
still need to have certain ideas about the up and coming fields in in the area of computer science. You need to just to be updated in this era, you need to have some little understanding of artificial intelligence like techniques. Because
Okay.
even when you start a job, if you, let's say, get a secure job, this field grows at such a rapid pace, and it includes new technologies at so rapidly that
Hmm.
you continuously need to keep upskilling yourself. But there's one skill that I would say I tell everyone that no matter which field you're coming from, you need to have is the skill of computer coding, programming that we say.
Okay.
Even if you're from mechanical, you still need to be able to code, because at the end of the day, this is how your systems are going to go into production in an aerospace company.
Sure.
So, when I say computer coding, I don't mean you have to learn five different languages. Focus on one language and become a master at it, because that will benefit you no matter where you go. I think that's very important.
Would you like to share couple of programming languages because there are multiple? So I'm sure students are going to ask कि मैम एक या दो बता दीजिए जो जरूरी हमें करनी चाहिए. So please let us know just 2 or 3 options कि ये coding language तो आनी ही चाहिए if you want to enter into this field.
Yeah. Usually, if you want to work with hardware in organizations or companies, when you
Okay.
start your job, if you want to work with hardware, C++ is a great language to learn. And
Okay.
C++ is also a language that is taught in most colleges during
Okay.
their engineering
True. True.
studies.
One of the
But
oldest language I should.
yeah, and C++ is very powerful in a lot of sense. But I understand that C++ could also be difficult to learn. Some
Hmm.
of the syntax, it's a difficult language to learn. So Python is an language that it doesn't require any license or anything. It's an open source programming language. And
Okay.
the syntax is very, very simple. It's very simple to learn Python. It's very convenient to use Python programming if you in the early stages of building a system. It's called the prototyping stage. And there, Python is used a lot in many organizations. So these two are extremely crucial. Mastering one of the two is essential. And MATLAB is not really a language like these, but it helps in a lot of numerical computations that we do in aerospace. But
Okay.
MATLAB requires a license. So if your university has a license, great. Otherwise, C++ or Python is very good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And I remember I also did C and C++, but now I don't remember. But it was 20 years back. That time also these languages were the base. If somebody wants to become a programmer or somebody wants to excel the career into coding. And I'm very happy to hear that the same languages are so much in the market forming the base again. So Mana, we would also like you to let us know that what salary range a graduate should expect while they're coming to aerospace engineering.
I think it's about the same as the other, most of the other software or IT jobs offer. As an entry level position, you would get similar offers. Although I have seen some graduates get much better salary. Let's say I have even seen people start with a salary of 9 and 10 LP as an average in some space companies,
Oh,
provided they had some exceptional skill. They have
true.
done something exceptional in the sense, maybe they have done, and right now, especially after COVID, you could just sit at home and participate in a big project that is happening somewhere else. So a
Hmm.
lot of students use that as a power, and they have done something really exceptional that has made the startups also hire them immediately.
True.
right out of college with a good salary, although the salary range stays the same. It doesn't vary a lot in aerospace.
Oh,
But the growth opportunity is much better. It's much better.
sure. What I would like to focus to our listeners is that the type of projects you do during your engineering, I think that is going to add a lot of value to your interview, because that is going to showcase your skills, which Sumana is focusing, especially critical thinking, and especially what you can explore the new, what you can create the new in this particular kind of engineering. And since we are in the last few minutes of our podcast, Sumana, what you feel, maybe top 3 things or top 5 things which a fresher must do if he has to have a successful aerospace engineering career?
Right. That's the most important question, I feel.
Or
First
maybe
thing is
maybe the challenge
stop
which you have
believing.
overcome by now.
Yes. Uh, I actually finished my graduation in 2015. So at that time, I wanted to go into space, and besides this role, there was no other option. So at that time, that was the challenge. But right now, I think the challenge is that we have so many options. We need to make ourselves employable. We need to build our skills in a way that there are many companies in India that are hiring aerospace engineers. We just need to make sure that we're able to put forward our best skills to them. For example, ISRO also, if you go for an interview and after the written test, you do have to speak about your final year project. That is what really decides whether you get a job or not. And another important thing is stop believing that there are no jobs in the aerospace sector.
True.
The aerospace sector has boomed in India. It has, and it's growing. It's going to continue to grow. So you will have jobs. Just make sure that you are prepared,
Hmm.
because even if it's a niche industry, there's a lot of competition because there's a lot of interest in this industry. So just having an aerospace degree and saying that I'm an aerospace engineer is not going to get a foot at the door. You need to have certain skills. You need to be good at certain skills. Along with technical skills, you need to make sure that you're good at communicating what you know, and you are able to present yourself properly, asking the right questions to the right people. And I think in closing, I would like to say aerospace is still a very small community. So you need to use LinkedIn even more. And in order to use LinkedIn properly, there are certain LinkedIn etiquette that you should follow. Don't treat it as an instant messaging option. Please realize that everyone has a busy life. So knowing how to use LinkedIn properly also will help you get a good job in the aerospace sector. These are my top learnings that I would share with everyone.
Sure. And in the end, I'm so excited. Before I finish, you all know that if you have any query for Sumana, you can drop that query in the comment section below. But before we end, I want to thank you personally for sharing the topic in such short span time so beautifully. But before we leave, I want to request Sumana, we need another episode from you wherein you can help students to know how to navigate through LinkedIn to apply for jobs in aerospace engineering and engineering otherwise. And we can do it
Of
probably by
course,
your
it would be.
experience, and people who want anything else from Sumana in terms of learning from this particular category, please drop in the comment. Thank you so much, Sumana. I'm really very thankful for you contributing to this new topic. And this is the first guest who is coming to our channel for aerospace engineering. We have covered management and other NEET and MBA, but it is such a beautiful topic. We'll see you another time very, very soon. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sunita. Thank you so much. Of course, it's a pleasure talking to you and all your students. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We'll meet again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.